How's it going, boys? Welcome everybody back to another tier list video. So today we're going to be ranking Premier League centre backs based on cheap, good and elite. Lads, we are smashing these out. We've done fullbacks, cams, centre mid, CDMs, wingers and strikers. We're going to give these centre backs, goalies, and then I'm going to put it into a whole video. And I'll probably try to get that whole video around 15 to 20 minutes and just go through all of the different positions. So if you do want to save some time in that way. The main objective to this, guys, is basically just tell you guys, the best centre back, Premier League centre backs anyway, the best bang for your buck, if you will, alright? Because we're trying to, put them into different tiers. Cheap tier doesn't always necessarily mean they're cheap. Sometimes it just means they're not as good as the ones in the good tier. Ladies, if you are new and you do enjoy this content, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for a shit ton of FIFA 22 content, boys. We're going to absolutely smash it this year. So let's just get straight into it. Starting off in the cheap tier, it is going to be Fofana for Leicester. Now, he's gone ahead and he's gotten a +7 upgrade, I believe. He was a silver 70 rated, actually +8, isn't it? It's a +8, so he's a 78 rated or a 77, I don't even know. You guys can see it on your screen, but he's a gold Coleman. He's gotten a massive upgrade, and we are going to put him into the cheap tier. He's got 74 pace, which isn't necessarily bad by any means, but still compared to some of the ones in the good tier, he's not as good as them. But either way, boys, he's going to be a very, very good cheap starter Premier League centre-back option. Next up, boys, it is going to be Konsa. Now, this card looks insane, and I hope I am pronouncing it right of Konsa. Konsa, let's hope that we're saying that right, but what a starting card this would be, lads. 77 pace. He's also gone ahead and gotten a massive upgrade for Aston Villa, and I mean, I can only say it's deserved. He's been absolutely smashing it when he has played in the league. But yeah, no, 77 pace. He'll be a very, very good starting centre-back option, and if I had to guess how much he would be, I'd probably say around that 10,000 coin mark, but still, nonetheless, a very nice card. Next up, boys, in a cheap tier list, it is going to be Konate for Liverpool. And I can't lie, I was a little bit underwhelmed with this card. He's maintained his rating of 78 from FIFA 21, didn't get a downgrade, nor did he get a upgrade. He's staying 78. And he's only got 71 pace. And it's not all bad. 71 pace was still alright. And he's just an absolute tank going into, challenges. He's going to be an absolute unit. I loved his first inform, his 82 rated inform of this FIFA or FIFA 21. I absolutely loved him, lads. So, I mean, he is going to be very good going to tackles, but still, that 71 pace, compared to lots of the other boys with 80 plus pace centre-backs, there's so much faster centre-backs this year. He's just going to be a little bit behind when it does come to the pace. Even with a correct scheme style, he gets a +10, so he goes to 81. Or, I don't know, in my opinion, he makes a cheap tier, and in my opinion, he's one of the worst ones in this cheap tier. Next up, boys, is going to be Ake for Manchester City, and he's very close, to be honest, lads. I was actually tempted to put him into the good tier, but I compared him to some of the other ones in the good tier, and he just missed out. If he was a tier between the good and the cheap, that is literally the Ake tier. I'm going to be completely honest. He's always a very solid card, and I feel like the thing that makes him good in game. Yeah, he's got 75 pace, which isn't anything crazy. His defending of 80 is okay. His 75 physical is a little bit underwhelming, but it's his body type and how he feels on the ball. His agility and balance is actually really, really good for a centre-back. He's 5'11" or 5'10" as well, so he can turn really well. And if you do get bridge, or if someone does boost past you, then Ake will be perfect on that turn. Now, the last one that does make the cheap tier, lads, is going to be Stones for Manchester City. I mean, if it was realistic, he probably would make the good tier, but his pace, once again, 70 pace, making him the slowest centre-back out of his whole cheap tier, but obviously one pace behind Konate. 70 pace for Stones is definitely a little bit of shafted there, but still, boys, 83 rated. His defensive and physical stats, you cannot deny, are very, very good, but once again, that pace just isn't quite enough to keep up. Now, we're going to head over to the good tier. So like I said, boys, good tier is ones that will most likely be a tad bit more expensive, but most importantly, good tier are better than the centre-backs in the cheap tier, but not as good as the centre-backs in the elite tier. So first one in the good tier is going to be Soyuncu for Leicester, all right? And now, he's actually, in real life, he's had a tough season, hasn't he? He's had a tough start to the season anyways, but I'm pretty sure they are ranking him based on the 20/21 season, and I can't lie, Soyuncu, he was very, very solid. Now, he did actually maintain his rating of 80, but he got a +7 pace boost, and EA seemed to be handing out pace boosts left, right, and centre with his centre-backs, so he's going to be first one in a good tier, and not a bad starting card whatsoever. I'd probably guess he's between 5 and 10,000 coins. If he was English, he'd genuinely be like 15 or 20,000 coins. That's just sadly how the market works. But nonetheless, boys, a very nice card. He's got like 76 pace, which isn't all bad. But like his defending and physical stats are absolutely incredible. I just have to put him in the good tier for that. Next, boys, it is going to be Romero for Tottenham. Now, once again, very good defensive stats. I'm pretty sure as 83 defending and 84 physical, or the other way around. He's got 76 pace, which isn't anything like mind-blowing. 76 pace isn't absolutely crazy. But once again, I loved his top scoring FIFA 21. And similar to Ake, he's got that feel about him with his body type, you know. He can turn quite well. His agility and balance is really, really good for a centre-back. So for that reason, he does make the good tier. Next up, boys, it is going to be Davinson Sanchez, another Tottenham player who did get a -2, but I'm pretty sure his pace actually only got a -1, and we all knew how OP Davinson Sanchez was last year, so it's probably going to be another year where there's going to be quite a few Davinson Sanchez's in your opponent's starting teams, boys. He's got the defending, he's got a physical of 80 each. His pace will do the job, especially with the Creek Chem style, giving him that pace boost. He'll be a very, very nice card. So that is why I put him in a good tier. Next up, boys, it is going to be Rudiger for Chelsea. And there's a lot of, like, you know, banter, if you will, on Twitter. Rudiger publicly tweeted and said, "Why have you only given me 75 pace?" Because he is actually very fast in real life, I'm not going to lie. So if it was realistic, he should have 81 or 82, and he'll probably be one of the best starting centre-backs in the game. Like, that's literally like Rafael Varane levels there. So, boys, 75 pace for Rudiger is nothing crazy, but his defending and physical is absolutely class, and I really did enjoy using him in FIFA 21. Once again, when you've got a solid amount of pace about you, some good defending and good physical, and you're a Premier League centre-back, you're always going to be relatively pricey. Rudiger does make that good tier list. Next up, boys, it is going to be the rat himself, Joe Gomez. Now, he has got a -1. He's got a -1 pace, -1 on his racing. So, I mean, he's not going to be as overpowered as he was last year. But don't get me wrong, lads. It's a Joe Gomez fest. He's still going to be absolutely overpowered. So, he does end up making that tier right there. And honestly, boys, he's going to be very expensive again. If I had to guess, I'd say 40,000 coins plus. English, centre-back, Liverpool. It's just written in the stars, isn't it? Especially when, like, the best left back in the Premier League is Robertson. You know, he gets that Liverpool link as well. So if people are building a Premier League team, they'll want to look at, you know, like getting a strong link to that Robertson if they do end up using him. So I feel like he definitely does make that good tier. Not quite elite, kind of close to the elite tier, but I'd still just put him in that good tier. Now, boys, the last one in the good tier, and how is this man a gold common? It is going to be Godfrey for Everton, and he is out of, even in the elite tier, lads. I'm telling you now, he is the fastest centre-back in this whole tier list. Genuinely, what the hell is this card? And the thing is, we don't often see meta gold common players going for much. So I'd probably say he'd be around that 10 to 20,000 coin mark. I can't see him being much more than that, because he's just simply because he's a gold common, and you don't often see gold commons going for that much. Godfrey definitely makes it into the good tier. I was going to say the god tier there. Into the good tier. 83 pace. His defending is okay, and his physical's not crazy. But still, chuck maybe an anchor on him, which will put him to 88 pace, get a defending and physical boost, and you are good to go. If I had to pick the best player or best value player from this good tier, it is without a doubt going to be Godfrey, lads. How is this card a gold common? I will never know. Now, we've got two players for the elite tier. You guys have probably guessed it. The first one in elite tier is going to be Virgil van Dijk. Now, I was tempted to put him into the good tier, but you just can't with Van Dijk, can you? He has been absolutely shuffled. He's got a -1, which I wouldn't say is fair because he was injured, and when he is in the Premier League, he is without a doubt the best centre-back in the Premier League. But still, 76 pace, it's just a tiny bit underwhelming, isn't it, lads? With a Shadow, a Catalyst, whatever chem style you want to go for, though, get him that +10 pace boost. That will put him up to 86 in-game from his 76. So 86 pace in-game. His defensive stats, you really don't have to upgrade because, I mean, 91 defending is phenomenal. I think he's got the most defending in the Premier League out of all the Prem defenders, obviously. So, I mean, he's got to make this expensive / elite tier. You just can't not put him in it, lads. It is Van Dijk, but I don't think he's going to be as expensive as he was last year. I think last year he was like 78 pace, and obviously he was 90 rated. So he's definitely not going to be as expensive as he was then. But still, nonetheless, he does make for elite tier. And the last one, the rat himself, Danny Aarons, is probably going to hate me for this. I mean, doesn't even know who I am, but he's still going to hate me for this. It is Rafael Varane. Lads, it's going to be another year of pain. And it's going to be even more pain. Do you know why? He's got France and Manchester United Premier League links. He's going to be able to link with Bruno, with Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, we're going to see, I'm going to be surprised if we see Varane, Joe Gomez, and Nick Pope in goal. It's going to be another year of that, boys. He's got to be the most elite centre-back in the Premier League with 110%, boys. He's probably going to be 500,000 coins plus easily, in my opinion. Considering his Real Madrid card was 300,000 coins at the beginning of the game last year, he's now got the Premier League links. That's literally going to basically double his price. So it's going to be another year, boys. Tuck your seatbelts in, get ready. It's another year of Raphael Varane absolutely dominating our attackers. But if I did have to pick one player from the cheap tier, good tier, and expensive tier to recommend, like out of all of these, what I'd recommend is when you're starting off, what I'd do is I'd probably look at one of the cheaper ones, like say, I'd probably say out of a cheap tier, I'd probably say Ake is probably the best out of the lot. So maybe save up for Ake, obviously smash your division rivals, maybe you use them for the first weekend league, and then when you've got coins, upgrade to a centre-back in the good tier. Whether it's, maybe, I want to say Rudiger, probably Joe Gomez in the good tier. You'd want to make that upgrade from RK to Joe Gomez. Keep grinding once again, and as soon as you get enough coins, then you'll go for either Van Dijk versus or Varane, which in my opinion, I'll say Raphael Varane. Hopefully this video did help you guys out. If you did enjoy as well, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. We're going to do Premier League goalies next, and then we're going to add it into like a one big full montage, not a montage, one big full video, if you will, just discussing all Premier League players. So boys, thanks for watching. Peace out.